Hello. This week I'll be continuing in my series on Ecclesiastes, and I'll be in chapter 4. So if you have your Bible or your Bible app open and you want to follow along, that is where I'll be this week. Then I returned and considered all the oppression that is done under the sun. And look, the tears of the oppressed, but they have no comforter. On the side of their oppressors there is power, but they have no comforter. Therefore I praise the dead who were already dead, more than the living who are still alive. Yet, better than both is he who has never existed, who has not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. Again, I saw that for all toil and every skillful work, a man is envied by his neighbor. This also is vanity, and grasping for the wind. The fool folds his hands and consumes his own flesh. Better a handful with quietness than both hands full together with toil and grasping for the wind. Solomon considers those in the world who suffer oppression. In a statement brimming with passion, he finds that the oppressed have no comforter, a champion, if you will. And the power lies on the side of their oppressors. It is because of these two factors that he finds that the oppressed have no hope. In verses 2 and 3, the preacher concludes that the dead are much better off than the oppressed who are still alive and on this earth. And then we get to the fool who destroys himself by his idleness. Another minor theme that runs throughout the book of Ecclesiastes is that work in moderation is good, and it brings the person dignity. But if it is overwhelming and it dominates the person's life, it is futile. For a little with peace is better than much in turmoil. It's all vanity under the sun. There is one alone without companion. He has neither son nor brother, yet there is no end to all his labors. Nor is his eye satisfied with riches, but he never asks, for whom do I toil and deprive myself of good? This also is vanity and a grave misfortune. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will lift up his companion. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, for he has no one to help him up. Again, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one be warm alone? Though one may be overpowered by another, two can withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. Better a poor and wise youth than an old and foolish king who will be admonished no more. For he comes out of prison to be king, although he was born poor in his kingdom. I saw all the living who walk under the sun. They were with the second youth who stands in his place. There was no end of all the people over whom he was made king. Yet those who come afterward will not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and grasping for the wind. When you labor alone, with no heir to whom you can leave your wealth, you deprive yourself of nothing. You are better off taking a little time to enjoy what you have rather than being consumed with making more. In verse 14 is difficult, turning on the interpretation of the Hebrew idiom behind although. The sense is that a youth, like David of old, though born to a poor family, may come, if he is wise, from confinement to the throne. The child who became king, verse 14, as well as his successor, who is his own natural-born child, will be forgotten. So a hereditary monarchy is not a genuine value either. because it places rank by birth ahead of merit in leadership. Thank you for watching. Next week I'll be continuing out of Ecclesiastes with chapter 5. I hope that you can join me. God bless.